Ag Matters is underwritten by Ag West Farm Credit. Ag West Farm Credit is a financial cooperative that provides financing, crop insurance, and related services to farmers and ranchers across the West. From small family businesses to large operations, Ag West brings the experience and financial know-how to help you grow your best future.
Welcome to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska on Big Cabbage Radio.
Hello, everybody. You're listening to Ag Matters. I'm your host, Ken Hoffman. I'm a farmer out in Palmer near the fairgrounds. My little farm is called Matsu Microgreens, where we grow gourmet vegetables year-round. But I'm also the executive director of the Alaska Farm Bureau, and we're an organization made up of farmers and food producers. And it's a lot of fun to be a part of it and to come to our meetings and network. So, yeah, and today we have Tony on the line called in. So thank you, Tony, for calling in.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. So if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and your farm.
Yeah, so we have a small family farm in Chugiak. Our primary product is raw goat's milk. So we have a small dairy farm. We also raise some pigs to help take care of any of the waste products from cheese making and all that kind of stuff. And we got a little flock as well, just to kind of throw some eggs in for customers.
That's great. And what's the name of your farm?
We're the Tiny Homestead. It's run by my wife and I. We've got a few employees and 1.5-year-old child who's learning the ropes.
Sounds good. So how did you and your wife end up in Alaska and start building this farm?
Sure. So the military brought me up here. I've been with the Alaska National Guard for 15 years now, and she came up through an internship, and we met up here. And then I always wanted, my grandparents had a farm for a long time, and I was attracted to that kind of lifestyle. So I bought some property in Chugiak, and then with the virgin ground, basically been building out a small little homestead. Eventually in 2021, growing enough that we could offer some products to other people. And then we've just been growing since then, offering more products and doing a little bit more with the farm.
Awesome. So how many acres do you have in Chugiak?
We just have 5 acres.
Okay.
It's mostly Chugiak. A lot of it's hilly with trees, so goats just kind of fit the scene. They can help me clear out all the brush underneath and whatnot when I need them to. But most of the time we keep them in just little lots. Pens that are dry pens, and we feed them hay and bring them branches and stuff like that sometimes.
Okay. And how many goats do you have?
Usually milk around about 16 does, and with all the other grow outs and bucks and whatnot, we average right around 30 to 40 depending on kidding and how fast they get sold off to other farms.
Amazing. And what breed do you have?
Yeah, so we have a few breeds. We do breed Nigerian dwarves and miniature alpines. We have a few full-grown alpines that we breed mini alpines with. So we make what's known as F1, a first-generation mini alpine, and then F2, second-generation mini alpines. We milk both of them. The Nigerian dwarves produce a higher butterfat milk, which is really good for a lot of the products we like to make. And then the alpines, mini alpines, produce just more of the volume that we need to go out the door.
Nice. So tell us about your business model. What products are you selling? And are you doing herd shares or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Right now we're doing herd shares. Main product is just fresh raw milk. And then we do some cheeses as well, mostly soft cheeses at this point. We do make cream. So all of these products are available through our herd share. We basically have it set up where like a half a gallon of milk is one share, a quart of kefir is a share, and then somewhere around 8 to 10 ounces of cheese, depending what type of cheese is a share. So people can mix and match what they want share-wise, and then we've just got a cost structure that benefits people that take more shares.
Nice. So how do people sign up for one of your shares?
Yep. So they can usually get a hold of us, either call or email the Tiny Homestead. We'll usually have people out so they can see it the first time. They can see the place. Herd share is a much more, say, tight-knit sort of relationship than just a direct consumer. They usually get to see, ask questions, whatever they want, and then they pick up weekly either at the farm or at a pickup location we have in Anchorage twice a week.
Nice. And where's the pickup location in Anchorage?
Yeah, it's in East Anchorage, kind of near. It's just one of our herd share members has volunteered his back deck, and he's willing to have us drop stuff off. So it's kind of a blind drop, and it's just near the DeBar Costco.
Nice. So do you do any farmers markets as well?
We don't. That would be more of a direct sale, and we have some problems with the current direct-to-consumer legislation, and we're just unwilling to go through some of those onerous requirements to get us there.
Yep, I understand. So herd shares is mainly what you guys do.
Yep, herd shares and animal sales. And then the only other thing we do, we go to events with the baby goats. We have an event called Goat Giggles, where we bring just the littlest goats, normally up to about 12 weeks old when they're nice and bouncy. And we go to events like we'll be at the Renaissance Fair, we'll be at Highland Games, we'll be at Bear Paw, and then the Alaska State Fair.
Okay, cool. What about the Homestead Expo? Did you ever participate in that?
Yes, yeah, we did that last year, and we'll be doing it this year as well. So we'll be out at Big Lake here in a couple weeks doing that.
Awesome. So how did you learn about milking goats, or why did you get into that particular part of homesteading?
Yeah, so it kind of has to do with personal dietary restrictions. So my wife has never been able to tolerate any of the store-bought milk, cheese, any kind of really dairy products like that. She's just always had an issue with it digestively. So I had heard some time ago that raw goat's milk can be easier for people to digest. So it was something that we decided to just take on and just do kind of for the family in 2019. So our first kidding was in 2020. And around that same time, everything got locked down. So we had a lot more time to actually build out the farm because both of us were essentially laid off. So we discovered that she can tolerate all of our milk and cheese. So that was great because now there's all kinds of dessert that have cream and whatnot in it. And it was just a big increase in quality of life for us. And then we just started producing more than we even really needed for ourselves right off the bat. So we started opening up herd share. We have mentors out in the valley. So Susie Crosby out there with Cottonwood Creek Farms kind of taught us the ropes around herd share and all of the goating ways, and we really owe a lot to them.
That's awesome. Have you guys ever thought of adding a cow to the dairy?
Our property isn't really suited for cattle, only because that we just don't have like any good pasture or anything for them. And it's just where we're at here. I think goats just works for us a lot better. We already have the infrastructure. We'd have to build out all new infrastructure if we wanted to have cows. So I don't think that's in the cards for us, at least with this property.
Yep. So do you find that most of your customers that purchase the herd shares, do they have the same issues with cow milk as well?
Some do. I mean, everybody has their own reasons for it. Sometimes it can be dietary restrictions and they just want some form of dairy in their diet and they're able to find it through us. Other people just might think that goat's milk is superior to cow milk for whatever reason. You know, everybody's got their own opinions, and I think if it works for you, eat it. If you don't have any side effects from what you eat, do what feels good.
Yeah. So tell us more about your cheeses. Like, how many different types of cheeses are you guys making?
Yeah, so we do, for the herd share, we do 2 cheeses. We make a chev, which is just a simple fermented cheese. It's a soft cheese. And then we do a cream cheese as well. So we sell those. They really work well frozen, so we're able to store a lot of our cheese. We'll have a normal milk production curve, usually in the fall after the kids wean. We get a lot more milk during that time than actually can go out the door. So we produce a lot of our cheeses that time, freeze them, and then they can go out the door year round. We haven't gotten into hard cheeses yet. It's one of those time-consuming things that I haven't found the time for yet, but I do look forward to doing it in the future.
Nice. And what other products do you guys sell besides cheese?
Yep, so we sell cream, and then, of course, that can always be go out the door, sour cream. We do some eggs. We also set up our eggs as an egg share. Since we are in the Anchorage municipality, there are some extra requirements for eggs for direct sale to consumers. So we've actually just kind of used the share model for a flock share in addition.
Fascinating. So how many chickens do you have?
We usually run with about 50 hens, and then we do have a small flock of ducks as well, about 10 ducks.
Are the ducks
eggs
for
aren't quite
eggs?
as popular, but it gives people an option.
Okay. What breeds of chickens do you guys have?
Typically just your standard layer crosses. something like a sex link or something like that. We're not too particular on breed, and we just want high production.
So are you guys looking to expand your goat herd?
Slowly over time, as we get more infrastructure built, one of the challenges in Alaska, even though we don't get a ton of rain here, we also don't get a lot of drying action. So it is one of the things, and even this spring's been very wet. We haven't had our normal dry springs, so it feels kind of like fall right now, and the muck is always a challenge for us, just dealing with the muck and having to be conscious of the hoof care and everything like that with animals that are in constant wet. So getting more dry coverage space is kind of our limiting factor right now.
And how many employees do you have?
Yeah, so we employ typically a lot of teenagers, so they come out maybe a couple times a week. So usually around 5 to 8 employees either help us with the farm or the events as well, since we usually need some help at the booth.
Do they help with milking?
They do, yeah. So we train people up with milking. We train them to just do outside chores, daily feeding, watering, that kind of stuff. And then many of them have the opportunities to go to the events and work a full day of hanging out with baby goats and, people who enjoy them.
Nice. Well, is there anything else about the farm you'd like our listeners to know about, to understand about goat milk, or where you got how to sign up for a herd share?
Yeah, they can always just reach out to Tiny Homestead at Facebook, or our email is tinyhomestead.ak@gmail.com, and they can reach out to us if they have any questions. We do open up our farm to a lot of people who are just interested in learning. So even if you want to get into goat, we do have a volunteer program. So people can come out and they can get their hands dirty. They can get all the learning they want, once a week, whatever they're up for. So if people are interested, wanting to learn about farming, learning about what we do, they can always reach out to us for those opportunities as well.
Awesome. So you have volunteer days at the farm?
Yeah, basically it's based on when weekends normally. That's when a lot of people that have full-time jobs are able to come out. So Saturday mornings, evenings, whatever works better for people, because we do chores as a dairy twice a day, every day, no breaks, no holidays.
Yeah, I know how that is. Even in the dead of winter, you guys are milking?
Yep. We do milk year-round. Right now is kind of our low season. We do start kidding in January just to get some early producers, and then we do have a few does that long lactate really well. So we're able to keep a flow of milk going out to our herd share members year-round, and right now we're tight, but we've got a lot of does who are kidding this month, so we'll be flush with milk in a few weeks.
Awesome. And then what about social media? Do you guys have any Facebook or Instagram?
Yeah, we do Facebook. So sometimes we'll post videos or whatnot on Facebook. So you can find us there at the Tiny Homestead and enjoy little baby goats bouncing around. Stuff like that is what we usually post there.
I love it. Awesome. Well, thank you, Tony, for calling in and telling us about your goat dairy. And I'm excited to hear that there is one. I didn't know that there was a herd of goats that big in Chugiak. So super cool to hear.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. And thank you, everybody, for listening to Ag Matters. We'll talk later. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Ag Matters, covering positive agriculture stories from across Alaska on Big Cabbage Radio. Ag Matters is a production of Radio Free Palmer, recorded at our studios in Palmer, Alaska. For more information about this program, email manager@radiofreepalmer.org.